Have you ever just stopped for a second and really thought about what's happening when you breathe? I mean, what's actually going on in there? Well, today we're going to shrink down and take an incredible trip, a microscopic adventure, to follow one single breath step by step.
So, are you ready? We're going to trace the path of that one breath from the outside world deep, deep down into the very center of your lungs. Let's do this. Okay, so our first stop on this journey is your nose. Think of it like a high-tech security checkpoint for your body. It's the absolute first line of defense, and its job is to inspect and treat all the incoming air.
Now, I know, mucus, it's not exactly the most glamorous topic, but honestly, it's a total superhero in this story. The sticky stuff warms and moistens the air so it isn't a shock to your lungs, and it acts like flypaper, grabbing all the dust, pollen, and germs you definitely don't want getting in there.
And mucus doesn't work alone. It's got a partner, cilia. These are these tiny, microscopic hairs that act like the system's cleaning crew. They're constantly moving, doing this amazing wave-like thing, and they literally sweep all that mucus, with all the junk it's trapped, up and out of your airways.
So you've got this incredible 1-2 punch, right? The mucus is the trap, catching all the bad guys, and the cilia are the bouncers, kicking them right out the door. It's a remarkably effective team.
But, sometimes the system gets overwhelmed. There's just too much dust or pollen. So what does your body do to get rid of all that trapped gunk, and fast?
It sneezes. A sneeze is basically a biological eject button. And get this, when you sneeze, those particles can fly out at up to 100 miles per hour. Talk about a power wash for your nose.
All right, so our breath is now clean, warm, and ready to go. It continues its journey deeper, hitting the main superhighway down to the lungs. We're talking about the trachea, or as you probably know it, the windpipe.
This is the main tube that connects your throat directly to your lungs. And a really great way to picture it is like a water slide. It's this smooth, perfectly designed tube that just lets the air slide right on down.
What's so cool about this water slide are these rings of cartilage around it. They have this brilliant dual purpose. On one hand, they're super strong so the airway can't collapse, but they're also flexible so you can still move your head and neck around while you breathe. Pretty smart design, right?
And just like that, our breath has arrived at its final destination, the lungs. But this isn't just some empty balloon. Oh no. What we're entering now is a massive, incredibly complex, branching maze.
So, right at the bottom of the trachea, we hit our first major fork in the road. The path splits into two big tubes called the bronchus. One heads to the left lung and the other heads to the right. Simple enough.
Now, once we're inside the lungs, things get really wild. These bronchi start branching out like crazy, again and again and again. It creates this huge, sprawling network that honestly looks just like an upside-down tree, with all these tiny branches reaching deep into every part of the lung.
And the change in scale here is just staggering. We start with those big main bronchi, then they split into smaller bronchi, and those keep splitting until we get to the tiniest little tubes of all. They're called bronchioles, and some of these are as thin as a single hair on your head. Incredible.
And here we are, at the very, very end of each of those microscopic bronchioles, we find these tiny, delicate little air sacs. They're called alveoli. This is it. This is the end of the line. This is where the magic happens, where the oxygen we've been following finally crosses over into your bloodstream.
So how many of these little air sacs are we talking about? Take a guess. Well, brace yourself. The average adult has around 480 million of them packed inside their lungs. I mean, that's a number that's almost impossible to even wrap your head around. Yeah, 480 million, it's just a number, right? It's hard to picture. So let's think about it another way. If you could take all of those tiny, tiny sacs and lay them out flat, how much space would they actually cover?
And here's the payoff. It's absolutely mind-blowing. If you stretched out all those alveoli, they would cover an entire tennis court. An entire tennis court's worth of surface area is meticulously folded up right now inside your chest. Just wow.
So think about that journey. A simple breath in, through filters, down a superhighway, and into a maze with the surface area of a tennis court. This entire sophisticated system works with every single breath, thousands of times a day, without you ever having to think about it. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other extraordinary things is your body doing right now?